So I've been meaning to make this video for quite a long time actually, but I've been waiting to see how the meta would evolve. And since the meta hasn't changed since Blazing Bash Obito really, I decided to finally make it. So I listed here, you can see on the top of the screen, the top 9 most used units on the ranked period, last ranked period, which was last week. And you see that some units, like, not necessarily the one to the left is gonna be better than the one to the right, it's just like the most used, you know? And I'm gonna start by talking about the 2 most used. So normally what you do when you do a list like this, so you can get more people to watch until the end, is that you start with the technically worst one, which would be Hashirama, but he's not really like the worst, he's just the less used, and then go to the most used. But I'm gonna start with the most used because it makes more sense. So when we talk about Mada and Naruto, so Naruto, I wouldn't say that he's worse than Mada. Like, Mada, he is the most used unit in PvP right now, especially in Kage. I think this is I base around on the top 100 on Kage, and yeah, I didn't base around on Ambu or like Johny or whatever, because let's face it, what matters really is the meta on Kage. So Mada and Naruto were the most used, and the reason being is that Naruto had his anniversary banner, his birthday banner, and a lot of people got him, and everyone who got him are gonna be using him. It's just how it happens, you know. Everyone who got him are gonna be using him. So he almost beats Mada as most used, but Mada has an advantage for being most used, which is that his banner was extremely easy to get him, like guaranteed steps, like he was extremely easy to get, and he got featured again on the Kabuto banner, he got technically featured on the Edo Madara banner again, so Madara is a unit that is way easier to put in Final Battle Naruto. Honestly, if Final Battle Naruto was as easy as Madara, I'd feel like Naruto would be over Madara, but Madara is the most used unit in PvP, and for good reason. He has a 20% chance of resetting his jutsu, which it happens more than 20%. Let's be real, it happens more than 20%, and he has a 30% damage reduction, and if you have 3 of them, you can sync up with Uchiha to get an extra 15, and you have the field skill of 15 to 20%, so he basically doesn't take any damage. And when you normal jutsu with him, if you get the reset, you most likely are gonna get an ultra combo, because he's really very easy to hit 2 units because how the hitbox of him works, and he ultra combos with 2 units. So you're gonna get a chakra, and then if you get chakra with the other units, which again if you have 3 Madaras, you're gonna get easy ultra combos. You're gonna get the ultimate, which hits the whole map. It has an 80% chance mobilization for 2 seconds. So at that point you already won, you know. So that's why Madara is gonna be top 1, the technically best unit in the game for PvP. But Naruto is not. It's kind of like a counter to Mada, because he has a 40% damage reduction towards bravery. That's a big deal, you know. That's a big deal. 40%. He already is gonna take like neutral damage, like from Mada, and then the 40% on top of that. That's a big deal. Also, he has a 25% chance of resetting his jutsu, which is way better than the PvE ability, by the way, of starting with max chakra. 25% chance of resetting his jutsu is also no slouch. And when he uses the ultimate, he one-shots everyone. He basically one-shots anyone. 24 times attack, excuse me. He basically one-shots anyone, and his normal jutsu ignores dodge, which is a big deal, because another thing that Madara does is has a 20% chance of dodging. So again, another big deal for Naruto to be so good. And then after him, oh yeah, and his normal jutsu like is a fast range jutsu, so you most likely are going to hit most units. And getting the reset, you can do it multiple times. And if you have 2 or 3 Narutos, you can boost them up by the 750. And if you have him as a buddy, he's boosting up by 300. So it's a big deal. It is a big deal. Now after him we have Obito, which Obito, at first glance he seems too OP, but not really. I don't think he's as good as Naruto and Madara. But the big deal about Obito is that when he jutsus, he removes 2 chakra from the enemy, and he makes him go really down on the speed gauge, which, if you don't know the term, is that speed thing that your units go running around, hooray, until they hit the point where it's their turn. It really goes them down, and also he can chakra recovery seals on top of it. So he is the 3rd most used unit. Unfortunately, his banner was terrible, absolute dog shit. He wasn't featured on the banner. He's released after the anniversary, and Blazing Bash is after the anniversary are complete terrible banners with no featured units. The only way of really getting him is on like a guaranteed step. So I feel like he could have been like top 1 if he was easier to acquire, but he wasn't. So not only that, but he also has a 15% chance of resetting his normal jutsu, which is a big deal again, because if you do get another one of these, man, the guy what can the guy even do? Like, he's not even gonna have this unit to attack. But the thing about him is that he's pretty slow. If he was as fast as like Naruto, I mean, Naruto is just a bit faster, but he's pretty slow. If he was as fast as I think Mada is slower, right? Mada is slower, but because how Mada works, the whole damage reduction doesn't even matter. If he was fast, man, he'd be so good. But yeah, after him we have Itachi. He has been meta for such a long time. The only bad thing about Itachi really is that if you don't land his jutsu, he doesn't do anything. But the thing about Itachi is that he has a 30% chance of switch sealing and jutsu sealing. But you boost this bitch up to 50%. Not only that, you extend it by 2 turns, or yeah, 2 turns. So it's gonna be switch sealed and chakra seal for 3 turns. So if you use him in the beginning of the match, and you, for example, hit two of his units, and chakra seal and switch seal both of them, he's screwed. He's completely screwed. And there is a map that you can hit all 3 of them. So if you manage to get this on all 3 of his units, you already won. There's nothing he can do really. So Itachi, only bad thing again is that if you don't land it, he's pretty weak. He doesn't have too much health, he doesn't have damage reduction. He's pretty quick though, but he doesn't have anything that really will help him. So yeah, if you don't land it, you're screwed. But if you do, you won. You pretty much already won. You can honestly, if like maybe even if the guy has 3 Madaras, if you chakra seal and switch seal both of them, 2 of them or 3 of them, what can he do? He doesn't have chakra, he can switch. So after him, we have Obito. I don't think Obito is better than anyone after him, but he's I put in the list of most used. So he is after his limit break. The limit break is a big deal because after his limit break he has 60,000 HP. So he's a big old tank. Only bad thing about him, pretty slow, but he's a real tank. And also another bad thing is that he's a 5 chakra unit, not 4 chakra unit. Everyone behind him, before him was a 4 chakra unit, which is a big deal because he already started with max chakra. But the thing about him is that he has a 60% chance mobilization for 2 turns, and if you have him with the 3rd ability, it goes to, oh, it's actually 1 second, but if you go to 2 seconds in the mobilization on PvP, these 2 seconds are not 2 seconds, man. It's basically the whole match. It really is. It's fucked. So if you landed the freaking jutsu, what can the guy do? He's mobilized for a couple turns, and you're gonna, let's say, the guy got a ultimate with Mada, and you're screwed. The guy got an ultimate with Mada. He's gonna kill every single one of your units, and the ones that are not gonna be killed are gonna be immobilized. You mobilize his Mada is gonna be out of the match for a couple seconds. And you do whatever you have to do to kill him or kill the other units until you get the win, you know? But if it lands is the big word here, because only 60%. 60% is not that bad, but if it doesn't land, that's a yikes, because it's not even that much damage, you know? And the AoE is not even that great. But yeah, he's one of the top dogs used. Again, I feel like he is more used than the other units that are behind him because he's so easy to acquire. He's an old unit. On his banner it was guaranteed steps, and then he has been featured multiple times after that, so that's why he is one of the most used units. Honestly, I would say that this Gara is better than him. I don't know if it's this one. Oh yeah, this one. This Gara is better than him as a unit that will save your ass. He only has 50,000 HP, not 60, but he has a 65% chance of jutsu sealing and attack reducting for 3 seconds. Wait, jutsu sealing for 3 seconds, attack reduction for 5 seconds, okay. But the thing is that jutsu sealing works different than immobilization. These 3 seconds, they don't pass if the unit is on the back. If they switch the unit that is jutsu sealed, they are going to be jutsu sealed for the entire match. So that at that point they are useless. The unit is pretty much useless. So this Gara can work very much more fine than that Obito. But again, I made my list for the most used, and Gara for some reason wasn't there. And also he has the damage reduction on the back. So Gara, of course, a very solid unit if you don't have the most optimal units in the game. So after him we have Sage 6-Pass Naruto. After the Lunar Break, pretty decent stats. He became pretty fast, which is a big deal, and his jutsu one-shots every single wisdom unit in the game. I think even Gara, that has 50,000 HP, he one-shots every single wisdom unit in the game, like Rinnegan Sasuke, which didn't come to be in this list, but he's actually being pretty much used in the lower ranks, like Special Jonin, and Ambu. He's everywhere, and he one-shots him. He just one-shots every single wisdom unit in the game with his normal jutsu. And he reduces damage by wisdom by 40%, so wisdom is not even gonna do much to him. Bad thing about him is that he's not a Yogi. It's the problem that Obito also suffers, being single target. But when you think about all the units that can kill one shot, really is that big of a deal. He does like what, 30k on his normal jutsu, I think. So it's a really strong jutsu. It's a really strong jutsu. What is it? How much my health? I think he does either 30k or 40k. I think it's 30k. It's 30k, but it's still a very decent amount of damage. If you sync with Bravery and Wisdom, he boosts by 200, which is not even that big of a deal, but very solid unit. Again, he got pretty quick with this Limit Break. His Limit Break made him extremely good, and also he ultra combos on his normal jutsu just by hitting one unit, which is a big deal because if you're doing like a strategy with a unit that is 5 chakra, or you just want to circle more chakra with your units, it's a big deal. So after him we have Finalize Sasuke. Now again, this is the list of most used, and the reason why Finalize Sasuke is so low is because he's not easy to acquire. He didn't have his birthday banner yet. Honestly, a lot of people tell me that he's better than Naruto, which I don't agree, because Naruto with the damage reduction made himself so OP, but just by the people saying, it makes sense, like, he being really good. But the reason he's not that used is because he is not easy to acquire. He only came once into the game, and his banner had a 0.33% rate. I pulled him like 3 times, but it doesn't mean that everyone's gonna pull him. If he had the same opportunity to be pulled as Naruto, like a birthday banner, it wouldn't be that. He would be probably like here, like, you know, like he would be like top 3. But since he isn't, let me go on him. So the reason why he's so good, he has the increased damage against Bravery and Wisdom. Bravery being like the most used element, that's a big deal. Same applies for, of course, the damage reduction on Naruto. Bravery being the most used element because of Mada, it's a big deal. On his normal jutsu is a vast range jutsu, so we're probably gonna hit the whole map. And he ultra combos on his normal jutsu. And also you can push units really easily into like chakra pools or the new stuff that there is in the map on after the revamp of maps of Ninja World Clash. You can push them pretty easily, and after your jutsu you restore the chakra by 1, and not only that, but you have a chance to reset. So if you get the reset and get the chakra back, you're gonna probably get the ultimate. and the ultimate is a one-shot. Like, you're gonna be one-shotting most units. Unfortunately, he doesn't ignore dodge, so if you go, like, for example, against Madara or maybe even Obito that has a 20% chance of dodging, you can miss, which is a pretty big deal, you know. Missing an ultimate is a big deal, but it's basically a one shot on whatever unit. And I've got his ultimate a couple times. It's actually pretty fun. The ultimates from Naruto and Sasuke are really fun to watch. But yeah, overall just a very solid unit. But he doesn't cut into like the top 5 most used because very difficult to acquire unit. I believe so in the near future he's gonna be easier to acquire though. So after him we have Sasori. Okay, we have Sasori. Sasori, you probably see him pretty frequently. The thing about Sasori is that with the damage reduction that he has, and him being extremely fast for the amount of damage that he does, you can get his ultimate really easily, and it's a very good amount of damage. And again, Bravery, one of the most elements used, Sasuke can do a decent amount of damage on him if you have the dupe. But Sasori does have the damage reduction plus a lot of health. I mean, given the amount of damage reduction, he's a lot of health. So just overall very easy unit to get the ultimate because turn 6, and it does like 16 times multiplying. 16 times. Granted, his strength is not very high, but it is a very good amount of damage for how long the range is. It's a long range square. They're most likely gonna hit the units that you want, and as long as you hit 2 of them, plus one of the units do like a normal attack, one of your other units do like a combo normal attack, you're gonna get an ultra combo, which is also very good. Slip damage, it's not that useful in PvP, but it's better than just doing damage, you know, it's better than just doing the damage. So Sasori is a very frequent unit on PvP because of that. Just a damage reduction plus, pretty sure, yeah, he nullifies chakra recovery ceiling in sync with long range, so syncing with 2 Madaras is gonna be nullifying, and it can sync with switch ceiling, sync with bravery and wisdom. Okay, so very good, and I'm gonna have to close my window because police. Okay. And then after him we have Hashirama. Hashirama is like, how old is he? He's pretty old at this point, right? He's pretty old, but 25% damage reduction, and his health is not that high, but 25% damage reduction plus on his jutsus, he switches the unit that he jutsus. And it's guaranteed, it's not like a chance or anything, it's guaranteed. He's gonna switch, and the unit is gonna be switch sealed by 4 turns, so you can really screw up some people, but like, they have like, again, they have the ultimate of 6 pass Madara, and then you just bring your Hashirama, switches the Madara, and he's gonna be switch sealed by 4 turns, so it's a very good unit overall, and the fact that he guarantees it is a very good deal. The same thing about Obito, you know. Normally Blazing Bash units, like, you're not guaranteed stuff, like Itachi for example, is a 50% chance, and if you don't land the 50% chance, you're screwed. But Obito and Hashirama are guaranteed. Obito is going to reduce their speed gauge and chakra by 2, and Hashirama is guaranteed to every time switches the unit and switch seals them. Not only that, but he's pretty quick. If you get the speed dupe, he's pretty quick, and he gets a chance to resetting. So if you reset the jutsu, you do the jutsu reset, and if you like ultra combo a couple times, you can get the ultimate, which attacks the whole map. So again, it's a big deal. So yeah, that's it for me. These are the units that I believe so to be the best ones, and it's because they are the most frequent ones. About teams, honestly, no team is gonna be perfect, you know. Every team is gonna have a counter to it, but honestly, what I think would be the perfect team would be 4 Stage 6 Pass Madaras and 2 Narutos. And of course, duplicates of units are cancer, but there's nothing we can do about it. Unfortunately, Bandai or Gree or whoever makes the decisions is enabling you to use duplicates of units. If you're talking a team with no duplicates, I would say Naruto, like, a team with Madara, Naruto, Obito, Itachi, Gaara on the back, and then Sasuke. Maybe Sasori instead of Gaara. But Gaara, of course, he can help you out, like, when you need, and if he lands the jutsu, of course, but then again, if he doesn't land, it's gonna make the team imperfect, or, yeah. So, thank you guys for watching, and please fucking subscribe.